going to do an insight video today, and like I said, I've been talking a lot about consciousness and creation, and a lot of the sort of like the shifting and changing at the moment is about sort of like creation and sort of understanding that there's non-separation, and this is what a lot of the guidance is around at the moment. It's around sort of stepping into whole self. And what whole self means is the infinite self, and the infinite self and the whole self is this notion that soul, spirit, consciousness, all are one. And the infinite self is the next step in in creation and sort of understanding and awareness. The infinite self is all things and everything. It connects you to your source energy, creation, vibration, frequency, energy. The infinite self is all these things at once. And the infinite self, when I start talking about this, it is everything. It's expressing your soul, it's expressing your purpose, it's living your life from source, it's living consciously within the moment. And I had an experience of this, over the last few days. When you start feeling like something's happening sort of outside of you, and you're starting to feel like the sort of like reality and sort of the universe is happening to you, then you've stepped into separateness. You're separate, and this key consciousness or this key shift for many things at the moment is being like your whole self or your infinite self, and that's the next shift. The next shift in consciousness, the next shift in evolution of for us as beings of light and energy and spiritual beings. That's the next shift. Understanding that nothing is ever separate, and creation is only coming from you, as you, through you, and for you, as the universe is, and you are the universe, and you are creation, and we are creation. In this moment, we're always in this infinite moment, which is the now, and the now is the eternal moment. And this is what's happening for many of us at the moment. We are having this shift to live from source, and living from source is living from creation, but also knowing you are creation in this moment, in this eternal moment, in this infinite moment. And this is the infinite self. This is a new shift and state of consciousness that's coming through to many of us, that knowing that everything is always working as one. There's no separation, there never has been. And this is the shift in consciousness for many of us. Like when people talk about awareness or ascension and stuff like that, this is what is happening for many of us at the moment. And it's about stepping into that light, into that energy, into that consciousness, and walking and expressing and vibrating as your infinite self. I've talked about in sort of like in these sort of insight videos about the infinite self and the soul, and in a sense I've been talking about them as sort of like two separate entities, when they're not really. They're one sort of energy. They're one energy. The infinite self is all things at once. It's the eternal moment. It's our connection to source energy. It's our infinite self. It's that source being, that essence, that seed of creation that is us, which is our true expression of who we are and what we've always been. And again, it's this shift to live consciously beyond that, and see that all reality is only a reflection of vibration and frequency. If you start seeing that something is out of balance within your life, or you're lacking something, or or you're trying to get something, or you're trying to work towards something, then you're out of the eternal moment. You're out of this you're not in your infinite self. You're out of the eternal now. You're already seeing something outside of you. It is something that's out of balance or out of harmony. And once you do that, then you're creating this separateness again, and this whole sort of consciousness. And this is what I feel like the beings and the guides and the universal teachers are trying to tell you, that all is one. We're in this now. We're in this eternal moment, and they are always connected to us, because they can't be anything else, because they are us and we are them. And this is what they're telling us, and this is the shift in consciousness. There's this new stream of consciousness that's coming to the planet. These new energy, these new vibrations and frequencies are shifting us into our infinite self. And I feel like the infinite self, we talk about the higher self, the higher self and the infinite self is just like, again, it's just an expansion of consciousness as we start to move into these times, this new sort of evolution within spiritual philosophy and understanding. And I feel like these collectives, these councils, these sort of like star beings, or whatever you connect to, are all telling us that through consciousness, ascended masters, angels, all beings are working towards this one sort of like shift in vibration and consciousness, that the infinite self is where we live. And when we express ourselves from the infinite self, we're never separate. So all is available, the potential's there. You know, it's the soul, the spirit, it's consciousness, all one. It's energy, it's everything. The infinite self is all those things. And when you walk as the infinite self, you're walking as source, and you're awakening to your true reality and your true essence and truly who you are and what you've always been. And this is what this shift is happening at the moment. And I feel like, again, this, you know, this is what's being guided, and this is what I'm sort of like, this is happening in my own reality. um, you know, for example, you know, when you sort of like, when you worry about money, or you worry about, you know, whether you've got enough, then that's a sense of lacking. So you've lost that eternal moment, you've lost that eternal frequency. You've already started to see that something's separate, or something's happening to you, and it's out of your control, when actually it's not out of your control. What's actually happening is you're consciously creating that reality, and then the universe is only mirroring that. The universe is only reflecting that, because you are the universe, and you are creation, and you are reality. And it's that understanding of shift of consciousness, to live from a place where there's no lacking, that everything is available, prosperity, abundance, everything. And this is the infinite self, knowing that there's always vibrations and frequency and energy is available anytime. And when you become more conscious of it, as this is something that's been happening to me over the last few months, and I've been doing a lot of work on this, where I've started to see that consciously things that are happening around me are only sort of like the reality is only sort of a reflection of my own creation. And I realize that. And when I get into that eternal moment, and again, and once I step into that light and that energy, that infinite self, that whole self of me and self, then I dissolve that, and I realize then that is only a sort of a mindset. But that mindset is only the energy that, and the vibration and frequency that I'm creating within that moment. And I also know, again, once again, this is again like the Saint Germain and alchemy, and this is also transformation, that you understand that you can create that, and you can shift it, and you can change it. And this is what I feel like, you know, the beings are trying to tell us, that, you know, there is no limitation, there's only infinite potential. And the energy is always there. And your infinite self is always available, because you can't be anything else but your infinite self, because that's who you are. So once you step into that, and step into creation and consciousness and understanding, you start to see that, you know, everything is being created from you, and you are the center of all reality and all creation. Again, you are the universe, and we are creation. I prefer the word we than I, because although I is the first step, the I am presence, and I am frequency, and I am creation, all of those kind of mantras are the first step to self-mastery. And that's the first step to ascension for many of us as beings, is that first step to self-mastery. Self-mastery is the understanding that you are, you know, a master understands that you are beyond the physical reality, that you are this energy, consciousness, light, vibration and frequency. And this is what the ascended masters wisdom brings, and this is the truth, from, you know, of what we really truly are. And then you start to express from there, that knowing that you're beyond that, and knowing that your creation, your vibration, your frequency, you are this infinite being that lives in many dimensions and realities, and that has access to these many dimensions and realities with all beings. And you understand this, and you start to live it consciously. And this is what they've been talking about for many months. It's leading up to this, where they're talking about living from source. To me, they're saying that you are the source of creation, you are the seed of creation, you are the seed of consciousness, the source of consciousness, and you are the source of reality and creation. So everything externally is only a mirror of what you are. And this is what they were talking about with the when we're talking about sort of like universal laws, you know, correspondence, where you sort of like, the universal law of correspondence is that everything outside of you is only a mirror, a reflection of what you're creating within your own energy and your vibration and your frequency. And this is what, again, is leading to this. So the universal laws are a starting point, but we're all channels to this. We are infinite beings, and we have infinite selves, so we're all channels. Every being is a channel. You cannot be not a channel, because you are born of source energy, and you have that creative essence and seed in you. So we're all channels. You cannot, it's just there's a level of awareness and consciousness that allows us to create from that channel, but we're always connected, we're never separate. And that's the biggest like message from this reading today, or this insight from today of consciousness, that we're never separate. Non-separateness is the key. to conscious creation and conscious reality, and conscious living, which is obviously, again, this is that creator, I am creator vibration or frequency, or we are creators, because we are really a collective. We are not separate. We're never separate. And this is the wisdom. I feel that many beings are sort of like connecting and guiding with us and shifting. Again, I've talked about like dimensional reality, the third dimension, knowing there's something outside of you, but knowing that that energy outside of you is only a blank canvas, and it's only being sort of like, it's only aligning, the universe is only aligning with what you're creating consciously through your vibration, frequency, and energy. So, this is why a lot of people talk about love, harmony, balance, love, like joy, happiness, laughter, all those kind of things, because they're vibrations, they're frequencies. But they're also a key to conscious living, because when you're aligned, then everything is in harmony, and there's nothing to do, there's nothing to go, there's nowhere to go, there's nothing you need to achieve. All you need to do is live within that conscious vibration and frequency, and know that you are a creator. And this is what they're bringing. This is what they're bringing. This is the consciousness that is coming for many of us as we're shifting. Although I talk like 3D, then four dimension, which is transformation, and 5 dimension, heaven on earth, and energetic frequencies and energetic vibrations, and then 6th dimension, which I'm sort of defining as this I am creator, or this we are creator. The creator consciousness, that you are the creator of your reality. That's what I'm defining. That's my interpretation. And this is the thing with consciousness. There's many levels, and there's many expressions to that. And we all express it differently. But that's not a bad thing. It's just that we all interpret wisdom, insight, and awareness in our own way, and that's what makes us our channel for wisdom and insight and awareness. And each and every one of us is walking this path. And I do these insights to share my own experience, for other beings, as we're all beings, we're part of a collective, to find insight and wisdom and awareness, and to become more consciously aware within their own reality, and to become more conscious creators. Because the more we can consciously create within our reality, and express more of that infinite self, the more we're being aligned in union, harmony, and balance. But we'll also create like this heaven on earth again, which is this 5th dimension. Heaven on earth is the understanding within each moment. This is what I believe it to be. Heaven and earth in each moment is the understanding that you are a conscious creator, and your reality can be whatever you want. You can create whatever you want. You have infinite vibrations and frequencies that are available, just as they do in the infinite dimensions, realities that we are part of and born of. There is no separation, and the non-separation is the main key. And this also connects to the infinity symbol of the 8, which and the diamond consciousness, which the infinity symbol of 8, vertically, is saying about this flow, that there's no separation. There's just one infinite cycle and flow of consciousness and creation, and each being has the ability and the potential to access that at any moment, any time within the eternal moment, because you are part of the eternal moment. You are an eternal moment, because you are this vibration and frequency and conscious being of creation. This is what you're born of, and this is what you are. And again, the diamond consciousness is about this. It's about like the two equilateral triangles on top of each other, but they are a symbolic of, creation is all the dimensions around, and realities are available to you, and consciousness is available to you in this eternal moment. There is no separation. There is only one. And this is again about oneness, and this is about awareness, and this is what this time and age is about. And this is when people talk about new earth, heaven on earth, and all these kind of concepts. What they're really saying is an awakening, like an awakening to creation, and that you are a creator. We're all creators, and we're all part of a collective. We've never been separate. We never will be separate. We cannot be separate, because energy only transforms. It doesn't, and transmutates to different states. Transmutation is about states of being and states of consciousness. This is I believe, the true teaching of transmutation. It's different vibrations and frequencies, and different states of consciousness. And transmutation is the understanding that you can shift through these different dimensions and consciousness within this reality, within this eternal moment, and each and every one of us has access to that, because we're all beings of creation, we're all creators. Well, that's the insight for today. Hope it sheds some light within your own reality, with your own truth. And we all walk our own, express our own truth, but these are all aspects of consciousness and the whole self and the infinite self. Please comment, share, like, subscribe. Pose any questions. This is one of the things that we do as beings, as guides down here, as on this reality, and this is why we do what we do, is to try and sort of like help bring knowledge and wisdom to this reality. So I mean, pose any questions, any kind of things that you might have. Questions are a way of, once you pose a question, it's a way that we can then connect in to our guides and our guidance and our infinite wisdom and our infinite selves, and bring wisdom in and insight back to this reality, and we can then sort of pass it on to you, or within your reality, and the guides are always willing to help with that. That's why we're all channels, and we all channel. So that's part of our purpose of being here, that we're all here to shift consciousness and awareness in this reality, in this time. Alright, well, have a great day.